Hello everyone, at last the time of sunny days, green foliage and warm pleasant weather is coming. Spring romance is already waiting for us. But in addition to present moments, this spring we are waiting for health hazards that everyone should think about right now. What are these dangers and what harm can they cause to health? Now we will tell you. What becomes more in the spring? Of course, the sun, and this it would seem is good. However, after a long winter and no less dark autumn, the sun can harm to the body. But at risk are girls and women in their 20s and 30s. The fact is that the skin wound from the sun's rays can react to an increase in ultraviolet photodermatosis, which is sometimes called an allergy to the sun. Not that this disease is very dangerous, but it is not pleasant. The skin appears unsympathetic, rash that can itch and itch. If photodermatosis is not treated, it will eventually pass itself, but only by the middle or end of the summer. The most susceptible to this allergic reaction are those parts of the body that are more open to sunlight than others, and therefore to the eyes of other people. During the spring period, there is a serious danger, since under the sun the ice becomes loose, loses its strength, and the exit to its surface becomes dangerous. Every year, many adults and children neglect these safety measures. Spring ice on receivers at plus temperature of surrounding air change the color, becoming opaque or yellow. Strong ice of blue or greenish shade. Durability of such ice decreases every day. In spring days, you cannot believe the shining day. Temperature changes during the day and night contribute to cold. High humidity and heat are ideal conditions for pathogenic microorganisms. They come out of hibernation and resume their activities. The spring period contributes to the fact that our body is experiencing beriberi and can't fully fight with microbes. If we experience during the day lethargy, distraction, irritability, general decrease in immunity, it's necessary to think about filling our body with vitamins. And for this it's recommended to eat fruit, vegetables, juices and take vitamins. And yet we must not forget about the hardening and physical exercises. In the spring we are waiting for such a danger as encephalitic ticks, whose bites are a serious threat to our body. We must remember, going for a walk in the forest or forest park, be sure to wear clothes with long sleeves, trousers preferably tucked into socks. Warm days contribute to the fact that many children tend to playgrounds. In spring and summer the most common injuries in adults and children are bruises, fractures and dislocations of the upper and lower limbs, various injuries to the hands which is associated with unsuccessful falls. These types of injuries also occur when using rollers, bicycles, skateboards, scooters. Remember, such injuries can be avoided if you know and follow the safe rules of operation of sports equipment, traffic rules and use protective equipment. For any injury you need to see a doctor, even if nothing bothers you. True Avitaminosis are extremely rare nowadays. Scurry, pellagra and so on described in school biology textbooks are found mostly in countries where mass starvation still occurs. Occasionally, doctors diagnose secondary hypovitaminosis. In this case, vitamins come from food in sufficient quantities, but because of chronic diseases or bad habits, the body cannot properly assimilate them. The very definition of the word hypovitinosis means that a person for a long time does not receive enough of one or more vitamins, as well as with a prolonged lack of sunlight. Traditionally, in the northern latitudes, this state is associated with the beginning of spring. At this time, the diet of our ancestors was the most meager and monotonous, and even today there is often a lack of fresh fruits and vegetables. In this case, are too minor to consult a doctor. It can be a loss of strength, insomnia, irritability, digestive disorders, minor cosmetic defects, peeling skin, cracks in the corners of the lips, and unhealthy complexion. Often it's at this time that people are most susceptible to colds as a result of reduced immunity. Small wounds and bruises don't heal for a long time, and chronic diseases are aggravated. In general, the quality of life is markedly reduced, and hypovitaminosis without attention is not necessary. Over time, they can cause serious metabolic disorders. What to do with spring beriberi? If you notice certain signs of beriberi, the first thing you should try to balance your diet. Give preference to products with the lowest degree of industrial processing and purification. It can be unrefined vegetable oils, products from whole grain flour, unpolished rice, wild cottage cheese instead of sweet carrots, meat and poultry instead of sausages. Watch for variety. Try not to eat the same dishes more than 2 or 3 times a week. Try to ensure that the heat treatment of products as little as possible affects their nutritional value. Cook fish and vegetables for a couple or under the grill for the minimum necessary amount of time. Don't overheat the vegetable oil. Eat as much raw fruit and vegetables as possible. Else, in the winter many of them also lose their nutritional value after long-term storage, but this is not a reason to give up useful dried fruits, nuts, citrus fruits. Even a long-stored apple will do better than packaged juice. In general, you should use more vitamin C, and this is kiwi, red pepper, lemon, rose hips, cabbage. In the spring, you should replenish the reserves of folic acid, which is found in the liver, eggs, spinach, legumes. At this time of year, there is also a shortage of B vitamins. They are part of cereals, bread, animal products. For the general prevention of Avitaminosis, it's necessary to increase the amount of vitamins A and E. They are contained in cereals, carrots, sunflower seeds, include prunes in your diet. It normalizes the gastrointestinal tract and blood pressure. Give up coffee and alcohol. Also, not a small danger is caused by flowering plants, but here's the best advice to go to a specialist who will diagnose you and prescribe the right drug to relieve an allergic reaction. Try to prepare the body for the arrival of spring a little earlier, especially if you know your features of reason why beautiful spring days can be spoiled. We hope you liked this video and you were able to learn something new for yourself. If so, subscribe to the channel, put a like and the bell to not miss our next releases. Health to your friends all the while.